Well, hello, friends. I'm sitting here doing a little editing. I got a message this morning. So this is real time on Saturday, the day before Worship on Wheels comes out, which is the Sunday that you're watching this episode. I got a reminder from Sabrina Catlin, a subscriber on the channel. And Sabrina has let me know that Lamonster, or as we know, Lamont Bryden, has had a liver transplant, looks like on May 6th. He was sent home later and then had some complications, is back in the hospital now. So what I'm asking is if you would, please keep Lamont and his wife Joan in your prayers. I would really appreciate it, and I know they would too. I don't really know them personally. I've never had the privilege of meeting either one of them. But I have bought many products, many Lamonster products, and they are all top-notch. And everything I've ever seen from the guy, he's absolutely rock-solid, positive, wonderful guy. Please pray for Lamont from Lamonster. All right, now back to Worship on Wheels.
Woo! Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Pull out in front of me. That's okay. Well, good morning, friends. Welcome to Worship on Wheels, episode number 22. Wow, double deuce. The double deuce. Isn't that what, wasn't that the name of the bar that Patrick Swayze was the bouncer at in Roadhouse, the Double Deuce? Oh, I'm sorry. I know it's Worship on Wheels, but I still can't help it. I just think like that. Please forgive me. And speaking of that, that's what this episode is about. Forgiveness. Ooh, man. Remember I told you the story last week of the friend and mercy and grace and all that stuff. Things aren't any better. We'll just say that. I don't like that, but it's okay. I can't change it. But you know what? I forgive him for not forgiving me, and that's okay. So let's talk about forgiveness. You know, in the Lord's Prayer, Jesus says, you know, forgive us our trespasses as we forgive those who trespass against us. Wow, man. Do we really mean that? That's a tough one, isn't it? Man, I was going to turn there, but you know what? I think I'm going to go straight. Well, no, I'm going to turn. She's puffing blue smoke. Oh, I don't want to do that. I forgive you. I just don't want to breathe it. You know, do we really live in a world, in our world, do we really forgive others like we want to be forgiven? Man, that kind of goes back to the love your neighbor as yourself and that sort of thing. But if we really do mean it, right? If we go, you know, God, I want you to forgive me like I forgive others. How's it going to work out? Is it going to work out very good for us? I think sometimes it might, sometimes it might not. Are you a forgiving person? Are you that kind of person that just carries it around? We'll share a story here. A good friend of mine, aka family member, aka my dad. Him and his brothers had words, and something was said between them. I don't know what it was. And my father was a good man, but he was a hard man. You've heard me say that before. But his brother said something to him, and I don't know really what it was about. I'm sure it was silly. There really shouldn't have even been a bump on the road. It should have been, hey brother, shut up. Let's just move on. You know, we don't need to go here. And that would have been it. That's how I kind of handle things. If I have a difference of opinion with someone and we can't come to grips, we just can't do the mesh, right? We can't do that. Then what happens is we have to do one of two things. Either you have to prove me wrong so that I admit that I'm wrong, or I have to prove you wrong and I have to prove that you're wrong and you have to accept it. Or in grown-up land, more times than not, we just agree to disagree. And sometimes we just have to stop it right before it gets too escalated over something that really doesn't matter. My opinion, we'll say, of, let me pick something, of a bowling ball, right? You don't care what I think about of a bowling ball. I don't bowl. But if I'm telling you everything about a bowling ball and you disagree with it, and you're passionate about bowling balls, and all of a sudden I get angry with you and I don't forgive you over something silly, something that really didn't matter, because our relationship is not centered or focused around bowling balls. Our relationship is focused around, say, motorcycles or Can-Am Spyders or friendship or food or conversation, generalities of life, that sort of thing. Then why would we get in an argument about something that really didn't pertain to our relationship and then be so unforgiving about it? I don't understand that. And most of the differences that I've seen in my, we'll say my nearly 6-decade life have been differences like that, where someone said something unkind and they were upset, they were going through something in their life, and all of a sudden you're offended and you just will not let it go. So this happened between my dad and his brother. Well, one thing led to another, and a year turned into 2 and 2 into 5. And now my dad's an old man. We're talking mid-80s at this point. Not the years, his age, mid-80s. To the very, very end, if his brother called the house, he wouldn't answer the phone. My mom would answer it. They just, and when my uncle called, I think if my dad would have answered the phone, he would have hung up. He was calling to check on my mother. He would not forgive my dad. My dad would not forgive him. It was terrible. Just absolutely terrible. You know, all of that lost time. My father died. He died with a lack of a relationship with his brother. He lost his brother that day. Whether we want to say he was alive or not is irrelevant. He lost his brother that day. He didn't. My uncle did not lose his brother the day my father died. My uncle lost his brother nearly a decade before he died. When I let them know that my father died, I was like, sorry. Even in death, there was no forgiveness. It just shouldn't be that way. We shouldn't be that way. You know, I share these stories with you for a reason, so that you won't make the same mistakes that I've seen others make, in addition to mistakes that I myself have made. This is a beautiful neighborhood. It's called Hawks Landing. I've never ridden you back here, but it is a lovely, lovely neighborhood. Less than 5 minutes from my house. I almost bought a lot back here. I wish I would have. But when I look at the scale of what happened, you look at this thing that was here and it got elevated way up to there. I just don't get it. I don't get it. I don't get how something so small can be so horrible. You know, it breaks my heart. You know, I think my uncles, if I called them, they would be polite to me. But in all honesty, I think their disdain for my father has been cast down to me. I don't know that to be true, but I know that empathic part of us, you know, where we want to care about other people and we want to be cared about, that hand of kindness has not been extended. I will say this, it's not due to lack of trying. I will continue to reach out to my family and continue to reach out to those whom God has placed in my path. and forgive those as I would like to be forgiven. If you have anything like that in your life, my prayer for you this week is that you would extend a hand of kindness to the one who's wronged you, and whether they deserve it or not, forgive them. And I'm just going to leave that right there. All right, my friends, know this. Yes, indeedy, you are loved, and so am I. And that is really good news. Now, you go change the world. We'll see you on the road real soon.